Hello, and welcome back to another episode of Cornbread. I'm Harry. No, I'm not Harry.
I can't even tell if you did that accidentally or not.
I'm Joe.
My name's Elon Musk.
If you're watching, you can see above us. You can't have just done that.
I'm Elon Musk, mate.
Alright.
That's what I said. I didn't just fucking do a Hitler salute
No, I heard
randomly.
that, but...
You said I'm Harry, I said I'm Elon Musk. Gotta do it now, it's just what comes with his name now.
God damn. Good start. Real good start to the episode.
Hi, I'm Harry. Fucking hell. That's the worst, that's the craziest blooper.
He's like, literally, my
Don't
name is above my head.
You didn't even get your own name right.
Look at the screen, Harry.
I love that.
If you're watching this podcast episode, you'll know that I'm actually Joe.
Yeah.
And that's Harry. It's
I'm
not Elon
Harry,
Musk.
yeah. Cal is going to crease when he edits this one.
Yeah. And yeah, welcome back. Another episode.
As you may see or hear, we don't have Callum. Where's Callum been this week?
Callum has been a busy man.
Do you think that he has... Well, you haven't seen it, so I can't make the reference, but do you think he's taken the substance and is leading a double life?
I can't say, mate.
Maybe there's like a Margaret Qualley running around fucking Glastonbury with a body that works, and he's like... And she's like doing exercise videos, and he's just like passed out somewhere. Maybe that's what's happened. Maybe
he's joined.
He's joined. He's joined.
He's moved house.
Okay. So he's not taking the substance.
He's not taking the substance. He's moved country actually. Never been abroad, but he's decided fuck it.
Where has he gone abroad?
I'm off to America.
Yeah.
I'm gonna seek my fortune.
Oh, is he gonna? Is he living out his dream?
He's in Texas.
Yeah, I was gonna say, is he living out his dream to become a cowboy? Yeah. I was literally just about to say that, mate.
Because Callum, everyone that watches and listens to this podcast knows that Callum is
basically a deep South racist.
Cowboy. He's a cowboy.
Yeah. Yeah, he likes burgers and horse wrangling
and ranch dressing.
Ranch dressing, ranches and ranch dressing.
And fucking his sister. No, that's not.
Yeah, no, he doesn't have a sister.
Moonshine.
He's
actually he's a rhinestone cowboy.
He's a rhinestone cowboy.
And yeah, he will be back one day, but for now. He's occupied, and do you know what? Fair play. I
mean, I would ditch you two in a heartbeat to become a cowboy in Texas.
Yeah,
I mean, just for a week. I wouldn't want to do it forever because it's a bit hot.
Do you want to know my issue of being a cowboy?
Go on.
I'm allergic to horses.
No, you're not.
Yeah.
What a crazy thing to be allergic to.
Yeah, we went horse riding on like a caravan holiday once, and my sister was like, "Oh, let's go horse riding." I'm like, yeah, fine, let's try it. Get on the back of this horse. Right. I am literally, I can't breathe, mate.
Yeah.
I'm sneezing. I can't see because my eyes are fucking watering.
That's mad.
And it's like, what can you do? You're on the back of a horse.
Can you ride ponies?
No.
Can you ride a donkey?
I have been on a pony, but I do get the effects still.
Yeah. You need to ride a donkey, mate. Maybe that's the answer. I feel like you'd kill a donkey, to be fair, if you sat on it. Not that you're heavy, but donkeys are quite small and you're quite...
No, they're pretty henchmen. I think they're stronger than you think.
Maybe.
Just
only those like
small.
Those enslaved poor African donkeys are the ones I'm thinking of.
They pull like carts, right?
They do.
Weigh more than 50 kg.
Yeah.
And I'm about 50 kg. I reckon the donkey could take that.
I think a donkey could pull you.
Yeah. I'll go down Blackpool. get on the pony ride.
Just go Weymouth, mate. It's closer.
Oh yeah.
Well, that's a fact I didn't know about you, that you're allergic to horses.
Yeah, mate. So I can't even visit Cal when he's on his ranch.
I'd like a ranch.
Would you?
With good Wi-Fi.
Good Wi-Fi.
You kind of imagine a ranch wouldn't have good Wi-Fi because they're usually in the middle of fucking nowhere.
Get Starlink, mate.
Yeah, I could just get my own satellite from Elon Musk. And, yeah. Oh, it's this, isn't it? It's not two hands. Fuck it. Did you see? I'm just going to talk very quickly because it's sort of in the right field of you. Did you see the video that Trump shared this morning?
No.
So you know he has his own like Twitter when he got banned off Twitter, Truth Social that he made.
No.
So basically, Donald Trump years ago, I can't remember when he was president or before he was president the first time, he got kicked off Twitter for being an asshole because he is an asshole. And then obviously when Elon Musk bought it, he got reinstated. But he made a Twitter basically called Truth Social, and everything he says is true, obviously. But he shared a video of what he wants to turn Gaza, the Gaza Strip, into, which is basically this huge tourist resort.
Like
and
Las
it was
Vegas.
and it's like an AI video, and it's got like Elon Musk himself in it, the president of the area. I don't know if it's president of Gaza or whatever, Benjamin Netanyahu or whatever his name is.
Netanyahu.
Yeah, something like that. Yeah, that's
Minister.
it. That's it. And there's like kids like with Donald Trump balloons made of gold like swinging by, and then he's like there dancing with a belly dancer, and like it's absolutely bizarre. But then it's like pictures of like war-torn Gaza, and then it'll be like the same picture, but then it'll be like hotels everywhere because he's just, and it's absolutely bizarre.
That is fucking ludicrous.
It is really strange. I can't believe he's a president. I can't believe he's probably the most powerful man on earth at the moment, and he is a
so influential,
literal lunatic.
They both are. I just keep seeing clips of Elon Musk.
Yeah.
I used to like him.
I think he's gone.
Cars.
Yeah, when he stuck to cars and space.
And PayPal.
Fine. Yeah, PayPal.
He's got too much in the public eye. He's not built for the public eye.
No, because he's an awkward, weird human being.
I think he's highly autistic.
Yeah. Well, to be honest, the geniuses usually are.
Yeah.
Because they're so hyper-focused on things, aren't they?
True. But at least, they kind of...
But he can't cope with the social side of it, can he? No.
You think, God, just the way he moves. It's like it's disturbing to see.
Yeah. He is a nutter.
And then you just get like these evil thoughts. Like he's capable of just anything. He's the richest man on the planet.
I know, and he's partnered up with the most powerful man on the planet. It is bizarre, but yeah. Anyway, that's our political
sketch gun.
Yeah, but watch the video. It's absolutely hilarious.
I'm sure I'll see it.
Yeah.
I haven't been on social media today too much.
No.
Not yet, anyway.
No. So yeah, should we talk some...
Let's talk about some films and shit, or whatever.
Films and shit and games and stuff. Fucking loads, because we haven't actually sat down and talked about very much on an episode, have we?
No.
I'm going to talk about something I watched. Let's talk about The Substance, because I've already kind of brought it up in conversation. So I went and saw The Substance in the cinema as part of the awards season at Cineworld. With my friend Kit, who had already seen it, but kindly came along with me to see it again. And actually I understand why, because it's a pretty banging film. Basically, it's like a horror and a social commentary on the beauty standards in Hollywood and the like throwaway culture of like female celebrities, kind of when they hit their like expiry date. You know what I mean? When they get past that point that they're not just like these beautiful young women anymore, and they're still, in terms of real life, beautiful but older women, but in what Hollywood churns out. Yeah, do you know what I mean? It's just those people that they're, the women that have just grown old, because it happens to fucking all of us. But it's just it's basically a commentary on that and the throwaway culture of it, and what it does to people. And basically what happens is that Demi Moore is this aging actress or actor or whatever, and as she kind of is in real life, and she'd been not cut out of Hollywood in real life, but she wasn't ever really known as like a really great actress, was she?
No.
And then I think she'd kind of disappeared off our screens for a little bit, and obviously this huge thing came up. So it kind of reflects a bit of her, I think, and I think that's why she acts so well, and I think she probably is quite related to the source material. But basically she does like an exercise class.
Right.
Like an exercise video, like the Davina McCall ones, like, because she's again slightly washed out at this point. And basically she gets fired, and I think someone might make a comment about her age and her looks, and obviously it hits her, and someone offers her a chance to basically change her life, to take the substance which will make her turn her into a better, younger version of herself. So she obviously agrees, because it'd be a bit of a boring film if she just said no. And she takes this thing called the substance, and then like it's this most like disgusting scene. So basically like her back like splits open, and like Margaret Qualley just like falls out the back of Demi Moore.
Oh.
It's fucking gross. And the thing that obviously a lot of people have talked about a lot of it, but the sound in it is unbelievable. It's so articulate and so disgusting. There's a bit where Margaret Qualley sews up Demi Moore's back, and honestly, it's like so loud.
Oh, like ASMR.
It is basically just like ASMR, like, and you just hear it going through, and it sounds so accurate for what you would envision that sounding like.
Yeah.
And there's so much like that. It's really like, oh yeah.
Cringeworthy.
Yeah, but so that's what happens. And then I mean, I'm not going to go into the sort of full plot of it, but it's really good. I like Demi Moore. I like Margaret Qualley in it. I'd say Margaret Qualley has a slightly easier task because for most of the film she just needs to play someone who's really happy, and I don't know if she cares or not, but unfortunately for her, she just has to be really fucking sexy. And like the film is, the nudity in the film is quite high, and like Margaret Qualley, it's like, because there's like, if you were an aging star who was really obsessed with your looks, you'd look in a mirror, and if you'd become this like younger, beautiful version of yourself, you'd like examine yourself, wouldn't you? And that's kind of what happens. She's like fully naked, and she's just there like,
oh my god.
Oh.
Yeah, they're back.
And honestly, the amount of shots that spend time on Margaret Qualley's ass is unbelievable. There is so much ass worship in that film. But it is interesting because it is a female director, so it doesn't feel seedy.
Yeah.
It doesn't feel like it's just some fucking old guy being like, oh yeah, get it closer.
No,
do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like, it feels tasteful and respectful, and it makes sense. But yeah, it is quite intense. There's quite a lot going on. But Demi Moore is really good in it. She's not in it as much as I thought she was going to be, but it makes sense for the plot of the film because it is like, basically the idea is that you can only have 7 days of one, and then you have to then like switch your brain back, essentially, is the easy answer to like, so there's two bodies, there's not one person that changes, there's two bodies, and then they link up and then they switch back, and then she gets 7 days as Demi Moore, 7 days as Margaret Qualley.
Right.
But yeah, it's good, and then it kind of goes fucking absolutely balls to the wall at the end.
Right.
Absolutely mad. I wasn't expecting it to go as mad as it did. There was a couple bits I didn't like leading into the events at the end. There's a bit that's like really random where Margaret Qualley just seems really strong in it. She kind of gets in a fight with someone, and honestly, she like kicks them across this like huge room, and I felt that kind of took me out of it a bit because although the premise is ridiculous, it didn't ever really make it sound like they were going to be like these like super strong people. And Margaret Qualley doesn't look like she's twee, but she's not going to be able to kick like a fully grown person like halfway across the room. Like there's a couple bits like that in this sequence, and I'm like, I don't quite know why we've done that. But then the ending is absolutely phenomenal. It's so good. The sound is so intense. The intensity of it kind of reminded me of Requiem for a Dream. Have you seen that?
Yeah, I have.
It's quite like intense, isn't it? The ending of that with the sound and the flashing. It doesn't give you a respite. So there's like a much shorter sequence, which is kind of like that across with another film, which I won't say because it will kind of spoil it a little bit for you. But it's quite mad, but it's really good. I gave it an 8.5 out of 10. I think that it's a really solid film. I don't really have much wrong with it. I think it was quite long. Didn't necessarily feel too long, but I don't think that Demi Moore's performance. I think Demi Moore's performance is really good, but I don't think it's all that it's like hyped up to be. And I didn't like the fighting bit. I thought that was a bit out of place. Kind of like you've seen Invisible Man, haven't you?
Yeah,
you know, like the fight we watched together. You know the fighting bit at the end of that.
Yeah.
Kind of feels a bit out of place, doesn't it? Kind of felt a bit like that. I was a bit like, oh, I get why they're fighting, but it just it was too fighty. It was almost like borderline Captain America fighting.
Right.
Do you know what I mean? I was like, this has
right.
got a bit weird. But yeah, it was decent. It is really it is a really good horror film. But it is quite. I think Callum would struggle with it because I know that he's been a bit apprehensive to like watch. Yeah, I know he's been a bit apprehensive to watch Evil Dead Rise, and I would say this is like on par with that kind of level of like.
That birthing scene.
Yeah. I want to watch that again. To be fair, I might just trick Chloe into watching it. She'd fucking hate it.
Yeah, I can imagine.
She would absolutely hate it. I love it though.
Yeah.
So yeah, so that's my little review of The Substance.
Nice.
I'll probably put up a little review on our socials at some point,
Yeah.
listeners.
Yeah.
We're looking to put all of our reviews on the website so that we can spend maybe a little bit less time like directly reviewing, and then more time just sort of like
Free
chin
flowing,
wagging and
chatting.
free flowing. Yeah.
Yeah.
Have you seen Demi Moore in very much?
No.
I can't think of
Do you know
one thing
what?
I've seen her in.
My only reference point in my head to her is the episode of Friends where Monica gets a haircut and she wants it to be
Like to
Demi
be more, and then she thinks it's like Daniel Moore. Or
Yeah.
something fucking weird.
Yeah.
Whoever that is.
Exactly.
Let's have a quick look, because I
But I want to say she's in something like quite big. Is it like an officer and a
she's
gentleman?
G.I. Jane.
G.I. Jane. I thought that was.
Ghost, that's it. She's in
Ghost.
Ghost. And Indecent Exposure? No. Indecent Proposal.
Oh. No.
Striptease, G.I. Jane, Charlie's
I thought
Angels.
fucking-
Oh, that's what I've seen her in. You've seen her in it as well. A Few Good Men.
Oh, is it?
And she is actually good in that, to be fair.
I said an officer and a gentleman. I thought it was.
Yeah.
It was similar.
But this is definitely the... I mean, not that I've seen her in masses, but it's the best thing that I've, like, seen her in.
Yeah.
And any other year, if Mikey Madison hadn't given the performance of Nora, I think that she would be deserving of it. But I think she's going to get it because it's like, don't call it a comeback, do you know
It's
what I
the
mean?
Academy, innit?
Yeah.
They love it. It's all about trending and.
Yeah. It's a huge comeback for an
It's a story in
esteemed...
itself.
Yeah,
A
and I
film.
think... And I got it with Brendan Fraser because I did legitimately think
deserved
that
it.
his was the best performance that year, but I don't think that hers is. And she's only really in it for half the film, which I know it's not a quantity over quality kind of thing, but Mikey Madison is basically in all of Honora, like all of the time, and she just gives such a good performance. I think it could be up there with one of the most my favourite action performances I've ever seen in a film.
Wow, we.
It's that good. They were showing it in the cinema, and I was a bit sad because I really wanted to see it again, and obviously I'd like to see if I get you down, but I just couldn't squeeze it in. And I wanted to see The Substance, like one I hadn't seen, so yeah.
Understandable, man.
Yeah.
Oh, did you see? Did you watch any of the Super Bowl?
The Stitch at the Super Bowl.
Yeah.
Yeah, I did.
Oh, what the fuck was happening?
Yes, I did watch Stitch
Yeah,
at the
mate.
Super Bowl. And chasing around. I love Lilo and Stitch, man. I don't think it's the best film.
Oh,
but...
mate, I think it's one of my favourite Disney films. It could be my favourite Disney. Like, you know, it's not Pixar.
Yeah.
I think it's my favourite.
I
Disney
do
film.
like it. I like that it's not a romantic film. I
No.
like that it doesn't
It
just...
has a romance.
It
but
has
it's
a
not, like,
romance,
in your
but it's
face.
not like the main thing,
No,
and it's
yeah.
just kind of like... And I don't feel like she prioritises at any point over Lilo. Do you know what I mean?
No, yeah.
It's not her priority at all,
Not
which
so.
I like. Yeah, it's fine. I would probably say it's like good, nearly great. I don't think it's one of Disney's finest, but I used to watch it all the time as a kid, and I just love it. Like it.
Did you ever watch the show?
Yeah, I watched the sequel films, the show, all of them, because there's the one that's like Stitch, but he just
Leroy
likes to
and
make
Stitch.
Just likes to make sandwiches, doesn't he? Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's good. I mean, yeah, it's a great film. So Chloe hates it.
How?
I know, she didn't let me know this red flag before I married her.
Oh yeah, you should. That is a marriage ender.
It was a bit of a, yeah, so basically Susie got some tubs for Christmas with like Lilo and Stitch on them, and she was like, I fucking hate Lilo and Stitch. And I was like,
fucking hates Lilo and Stitch as well.
But-
Not
well-
just a dislike.
well, I kind of knew it because I'd made her watch it for the first time, and I didn't realise that she didn't like it as much as she did. I knew that she didn't love the film. I was a bit disappointed, and she was like, no, I just really fucking hated it. But I think it's because we all love it, and now she's like, oh,
Yeah.
shit, do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
And we've been watching Community, me and Chloe, and she's not loving it, and I don't know what we do if she doesn't like Community.
Yeah.
I don't know where we go from there. I don't think that's salvageable.
No, it's that's
Do you know
a
what I
tricky
mean?
one to get out of.
Yeah.
If it's
These are big red flags. I should have
Yeah.
watched them with her when I first met her.
yeah.
Sent her on her way.
What did you watch with her when you first met her?
Well, actually, we watched two films the first time she came over to my place, and we watched Underworld and Guardians of the Galaxy, and she slept through both of them. Very
What a
trusting,
day, what a
very
day.
trusting of this man.
Yeah.
She doesn't really know.
Yeah, first time at his
But
place.
she was cabin crew with BA, wasn't she,
Yeah,
at the time?
of
So
course.
she was just tired a lot of the time. Bless her. And
You just sat there.
I was just there. This is great. There's a girl in my bedroom. But I should have made her watch Community and Lilo and Stitch.
Yeah.
Had I known. I think she is kind of enjoying Community a little bit. She's enjoying it more than she's letting on, I think.
Yeah, okay.
But she still hasn't quite engrossed into it. She hasn't endeared to the characters, which I kind of get because it's one of those shows where the characters aren't all that nice.
They're not lovable.
They're not that lovable, especially when Pierce goes full nemesis arc almost, doesn't he?
But
it's
you
not
grow attachment to them.
Yeah, you do definitely.
It's similar to the first season of The Office.
Yeah, the first season of The Office does it more like Ricky Gervais, where you don't really like the characters, but actually after that it realises that the Americans like someone to root for.
Yeah.
And you end up loving Steve Carell, even though he is just a nightmare, but you just love him.
Yeah.
And you root for him and Holly so hard,
don't
you?
Because you know that's actually good for him.
Yeah, but because in season 1 it's not setting up the right couples and not very much. It's basically establishing the characters, and then it uses the next few seasons to put it on their heads. But in the first season it doesn't even really hint that much that Annie and Jeff are the couple of the show. Almost a couple bits, when he realizes that Annie, he's sexually attracted to Annie when they're doing the study thing. Do you remember this?
Yeah.
And she leans forward and he's like, oh god, I don't know what to do here. But yeah, there's a couple bits, but otherwise, the my lord and my lady. You notice this? They say this on I think it's the first episode, and I don't know if it was planned, but Jeff always says to Annie, "My lord," and then, my lady, and then she says, "My lord," and then they go arm in arm. It's just super cute, just love it. But that is in the first episode, and then that's something they say to each other right in the end of the last season.
Right.
And there's a few points in the season where they say it to each other, so maybe he knew all along.
Maybe.
Big circle. The Dan Harmon circle.
It's Illuminati, mate.
So we need to see how it goes. I basically have said to her, there are certain episodes I'm going to want you to focus on and watch. Paintball, the fucking dice one, a few. I'm going to be I just want you to watch them. And if you watch them and you do not like them, that is fine. But there is probably not much point in continuing the show.
Yeah.
If you don't like the paintball episode, she's not really going to like much of what's to come afterwards.
Yeah. I like the Halloween episode. The zombie outbreak.
Yes, well, the nachos or something like that, isn't it?
Yeah. Or not.
Yeah. What is it? Is it the salsa or the Tex-Mex? Or
something like that. Yeah.
But yeah, it's fucking, I love it. I love the Dean. I love when he starts coming in his costumes.
Yeah, when he comes in one episode, isn't it?
Oh, he comes in as and he comes in as the fucking peanut butter bar. That's the best one, and he does the fucking rap.
Yeah.
And he goes to the dark place, doesn't he? And then he's like, "Oh my god, what have I become?"
Lady Gaga as well.
The Lady Gaga one, yeah. I always like when he's close to Jeff and he just strokes his abs. Oh, that's sweaty. But yeah, anyway. What about you, Joe?
What about me?
You're going to treat us to a review?
I could actually.
You could?
I could.
Hit us with your best shot.
So, I watched a film, right, that I've been trying to watch for ages, but it just wasn't coming on any streaming service.
So annoying when that happens.
It's fucked. It was Midnight Cowboy.
Like a midnight cowboy.
It's Callum, mate.
Is this the...
John Voight and Dustin Hoffman.
And is it... I'm walking here, is that the one?
Yeah, that's it. And it's everybody's talking
at me.
Yeah.
I don't care what it's saying. Yeah, I know.
You got it.
Is it good?
It is really good.
I have heard. I've never watched it, but...
So John Voight basically plays this... literally, it's right at the start. It doesn't really establish much. It's everyone's opening the film. It's where's Joe Buck?
Yeah.
Where's Joe Buck? All the people in the town saying, where the fuck's Joe Buck? And it turns out he's had enough of his job and he's going upstate New York.
Yeah. And this is John Voight.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
To become fucking rent boy, basically.
Right, okay.
Or
Midnight Cowboy.
Someone's sugar mama. He's trying to find a sugar mama. Someone to pay for him to just live lavish because he's good at fucking.
Right, okay. Great.
Literally.
That is going to New York with a head full of dreams and a cop full of fucking energy.
And then he fucks some girl, right?
Right.
And he asks for money, and she's like, "What the fuck? How can you ask me for money?" What the fuck you saying? Because he doesn't obviously say I'm looking for money, whatever, until after they bone.
It's like when you go abroad and like someone gets you to do something and then they charge you for it and you don't realise. Do you know what I mean?
You're like, oh, for fuck's sake. Well, now I'm in the situation. I've got
Yeah,
to pay for it
you
anyway.
got fucking paid for it. And you didn't. You thought it was a fun tourist
No, exactly.
thing that the town were putting on, and
oh,
you're
for
like,
free, for free.
yeah, yeah. Oh fuck.
For fuck's sake. Here's tenner.
Yeah.
But anyway, yeah. So he ends up feeling a bit guilty. He doesn't make any money.
Mhm.
So down as like goes to some dive bar where he meets Dustin Hoffman, who basically tries to set him up with like a pimp.
Yeah.
Essentially. I don't want to go into it too, like the plot too much, but it's kind of like about the idea of the dream, you know.
The yeah.
But and like seeing the true side to it.
How did he meet Dustin Hoffman? Sorry.
He's like in a bar.
Right. Okay.
So I think Dustin Hoffman's like.
Is he like a supporting character? I
Yeah,
assume?
yeah.
Yeah. So he's not the
No,
lead.
yeah, John Voight's definitely the lead.
Yeah.
Do you know, I won three awards, three Academy Awards.
What was it? Best film.
Best Picture, Best Director, Best Screenplay.
Yeah.
Cause it's based on a book and adapted.
Mm.
But yeah, it constantly uses that song as well that echoes in my mind.
Yeah.
It's like quite a. So I think it's
Touchstone.
basically like a commentary on like his
What did you
isolation.
find it on in the end?
It's on Prime.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, recently added to Prime.
Might give it a watch.
Yeah, it's really good.
How long is it? Long?
Not long, about 2 hours maybe.
Oh, that's
maybe
alright.
less. But yeah, just really well acted. It takes you places that you don't really expect it to take you. Cause like kind of, obviously being a rant boy,
Yeah.
it's not always going to be girls. It's what you got to do to make money. So it's like it's dealing with that side of it on like
Yeah.
the psychological aspect.
Interesting.
As also, you know, it's like the relationship between him and Dustin Hoffman's character
Yeah.
ends up being like fairly complicated because they don't really have anyone in each other's lives, but they become kind of dependent on each other.
Yeah. Do you know the "I'm walking here" line wasn't scripted?
No, I bet. I can imagine that.
There was just a rogue extra that was just driving a car incorrectly for a scene, nearly ran over Dustin Hoffman. And he's like, "I'm walking here," and stayed in character. And it was totally not planned.
Anytime anyone says New York, basically,
Yeah.
it's instantly like, oh.
Yeah, I saw a meme video the other day, and like, it's hard to tell nowadays if they're like set up or not because people are like, do you know what I mean?
Yeah, it's in that we're in that age.
We're in this
it
fucking age where
is.
it probably is set up, but like it's like this British guy in New York, and then he's like doing a video, and he's like, haha, I'm in New York, like I'm walking here, and then some like New Yorkian comes up to him and like gives him absolute hell, and he's like, we do not fucking speak like that, you fucking prick, like proper going at him, and he's like, what are you talking about? Like, and then it sort of cuts as the other guy like chases him. So like, but yeah, I'm walking here.
Yeah, iconic line. Do you know what? Dustin Hoffman is a very underrated actor, I think.
I don't know if he's underrated, but I think for our generation,
Yeah,
he's a bit unheard of because for most of the time when I would say, definitely for you and mostly for me, he's basically been non-existent because he's might have been a bit of a dodgy fella with like young girls.
Right. I wasn't The Graduate a bit like that?
The film?
Yeah.
I don't know.
What wasn't it about?
I don't know.
Something?
But obviously in real life, this is.
Yeah, no, for sure.
But I don't know much about it. I know that he got caught out on the John Oliver show.
Did he?
Where he basically sort of made an excuse to be like, oh, it was a different time, and then John Oliver was like, it's never been okay.
No.
You know what John Oliver's like?
Yeah.
So I think he kind of got cast out, and then the only thing he's come back in for was Megalopolis.
Yes.
And John Voight has also kind of been cast out in Hollywood.
Yeah.
And also had John Voight was also in Megalopolis, and then funnily enough, someone else who's been cast out from Hollywood, Shia LaBeouf, was in Megalopolis. It just felt like it was this weird place where Francis Ford Coppola was like, I need all these like skeevies and weirdos to come and join my film.
There is like his.
And then Francis Ford Coppola was like weirdo as well because he was like tickling all the fucking girls in the party scene and just being a bit weird. I don't know. It was a weird film.
Still need to watch it.
Let me know when you do.
I will.
The best part of it by far is Shia LaBeouf and Aubrey Plaza. Absolute standout. They're so good in it. But it's not in it that much. But I think that makes their impact better of the film. But
Yeah.
let me know when you've watched it.
No, I will.
Isn't it? Whatever you think of it, it is fucking interesting. But it is bizarre.
Yeah. I'm just intrigued to see it because it's Francis Ford Coppola.
That was there.
It's like that's, for me, it's like I mean, obviously, like the kind of reputation behind this film as well. I think it kind of deserves to be watched.
Yeah, yeah, and I don't think anyone's really seen it, which is a shame.
No.
It definitely was not as bad as some people were saying it, and then also I don't think it was quite as good as like the minority was saying it was. Like, it's not nowhere near his best work.
It's not like Apocalypse Now.
No.
Godfather.
No. But it was entertaining. And some of it was quite funny.
Okay.
And quite visually interesting.
Yeah.
But yeah.
Yeah.
But then other parts of it kind of look like a perfume commercial.
Right.
It was a bit weird. You'll see what I mean when you watch it. But anyway. What would you give The Midnight Cowboy?
I think I would give it a 9 out of 10. But I think it warrants a rewatch.
Yeah.
I kind of lost it a bit in the middle.
Because it's an older one. Is it like 70s?
1969.
Oh.
What
a good year that was.
69. Year my mum was born.
Oh, really?
Yeah. And it won the Oscar. Won the Oscar in 1970.
Oh, fair. Yeah, fair. That makes sense.
Yeah.
Well, good. I'm glad you enjoyed it. I have heard good things. It is one that I'd quite like to watch. It's on my never-ending list of...
I got it mixed up with the Midnight Express.
Yes, there's 2 Midnight Express films. There's one that came out years ago.
Yeah, I've seen the old one.
And then there's a newer one, which I don't even know if they're linked. What's the old one about? Has it got aliens in it? Or has it got... No, not aliens. Has it got like a kid with superpowers in it?
No.
No, so the new one has like a kid with like superpowers, I think.
The original, or the old one is about this guy gets...
I think you reviewed it.
Yeah, I have. He goes to prison in Thailand.
Yeah, you've mentioned about this. Yeah, I remember.
But it's like he's the wrong guy.
So the one that came out in like 2012, we've got Michael Shannon in it.
Yeah.
And basically the FBI are after his boy, so him and his wife go on the run across America to try and like protect their kid because he's like
super
something. I can't quite remember what it is.
He's like Children of Men. He's the one that can.
Yeah, there's something going on with him. He's special. I don't know. But it's a good ass film, to be fair. He's just the crux of it all. But it's a decent film, to be fair.
Was it?
Yeah, it was alright.
As ridiculous as it sounds.
I think it's much more grounded than I'm making it sound.
Right.
Michael Shannon, it's not like bombastic at all. No. Michael Shannon gives a really good performance, just a grounded dad who just wants to protect his kid.
Special son. And
just look after the special son, yeah. So I'm going to flip us the other way from films that we watched that were really good. I'm not going to talk about it too much because
films that you've seen
that I've seen that were pretty shit.
Which I fucking expected to be shit, mate.
Yeah. So I went and saw Captain America, Brave New World, and did
it have a title change?
I'm just going to go on to this. I'll explain.
Go
so
on.
Basically,
please,
when they announced Captain America at the time, New World Order.
Right, that was it.
I was like, my expectations were like, this is going to be like a cool film. It's going to have some issues because it's just all there is with the MCU films. But I was quite excited. I thought New World Order is a cool ass name. That really sets it up really well. I was like, they're going to be quite savage. And then they changed the name to Brave New World, which to me sounds like a fucking Little Mermaid sequel title. Do you know what I mean? Little Mermaid 2, Brave New World. And I was like, fuck
with
off. With the hand, yeah. Only for the viewers.
Yeah.
It sounded shit, and I was like, "You've just picked the fucking wettest name for what I'm hoping to be a cool film." Yeah, and then no, I'll tell you why. Oh, sorry, I'll actually stick on the name point. I have a theory why they changed the name.
Go on.
They changed the name, I think, because New World Order is a bit close to home.
Bit Trumpy.
The fact that we've literally just come out of an election, which obviously when they changed the name, they didn't know who was going to be president,
right? But
probably had strong suspicions that there could be a chance that Trump could come in. And then as soon as Trump comes in, he's obviously upset the apple cart with Ukraine, Europe, Gaza, and all I keep seeing in news headlines is Trump's New World Order.
Yeah.
And I'm like, surely Disney probably had the foresight to maybe just pull that back a little bit. So my expectations went down a little bit, and then they announced they were doing loads of reshoots. I think they did like 3 lots of reshoots or something, and my expectations started to fall. And then I watched it and I was like, this was worse than I thought it was going to be. And it's a real shame. You can see that they are trying to make... I think by the time that studios have meddled and they've kind of fucking bastardized it and neutered
Yeah.
it. It's lost all heart and hope, and it's lost its poignancy and any kind of edge to it. It just looks like the next thing in the MCU lineup. It isn't remotely special, which is a shame because I love Anthony Mackie and he's a great Captain America. But they don't give his character any depth. They're just like, oh, like the back. It's like, well, you know, I want to see the best in everyone. I'm not gonna, you know, I just see the best in everyone. And the president, who is just being an asshole, he's like, oh, I just see the best in him.
Yeah.
And it's like, and it's like he just hasn't, and he works for like he's happy to work with the president, and it's like, you're not a military stooge. Captain America never was that. Steve Rogers had more depth, and he would get to a point where the government would be like, no, I don't trust what you're doing anymore, and then he would go against them, and not just be their soldier. And it's like basically just being like, oh, military's right. Yeah. It's like, no, it's a bit icky. The other bit that's icky of it is that they've basically finally got like a black-led Captain America, really cool, quite, you know, diverse cast. All the characters are, I mean, basically all the characters are a bit ass, it's because it's a bit of an ass film, but by far the most interesting character, unfortunately, is Harrison Ford. Yeah. He's still not like massively interesting, but like he's got more going on, and he's basically been sort of like, as you might have seen for the trailers, they've put Red Hulk in it, and I felt like it would have been better had they not had Red Hulk in it to start with. I think that they needed, and if they did have Red Hulk, don't put him in the fucking trailers, because the whole film is just so obvious what's going to happen. Yeah. So yeah, but I think although the characters are not very well written, most of them, the performances are fine. I can't remember the guy's name, but the character of Isaiah Bradley, I like the actor playing him, and there is some like genuine heart to it, but because the film's ass, it looks bland, the characters are weak, and the writing's a bit all over the shop. It has no impact. Yeah. It feels like they were trying to like redo the Winter Soldier, but the Winter Soldier is such an immaculately made action film.
Literally, it's one of the few that I actually enjoy. It's
so fucking good, isn't it? The Winter Soldier, yeah. I think that's one of the ones that is like, I think that and Guardians of the Galaxy coming out 1-2, I was like, we are being spoiled here. And I think that probably, between the Avengers and then those two films, and even Iron Man 3, I really like Iron Man 3.
I like it, Iron Man 3.
I was like, we're on a fucking hot streak here. Like, I'm just in love with what is happening here. And then obviously, the first 3 phases, I mean, they have their issues, but are, as a 24 film narrative arc, just do so well. But yeah, and the problem is it's basically a legacy sequel to The Incredible Hulk, which came out fucking 2009, so 15 years ago, and hardly anyone saw it. And The Eternals, which is actually quite a good film, but no one saw it. And then also follows on from the Captain America and the Falcon TV show, which some people will have watched and isn't too bad, but shouldn't be reliant for a cinematic piece. And you probably could not see those things and still kind of get a grip of what's going on, but the only semblance of interest that it contains within the film would benefit from knowing those properties. Yeah. So I just think it just tries to bite off too much, doesn't achieve anything, wastes its potential. And I just felt like it was made by the studio. I don't think it was made by a director. I think they basically just hired someone to do it, make it functional, and then they were like, well, this is what we want you to do. We don't want you to do this. We don't want you to do anything edgy. And it's backfired a little bit. I think it started off strong, but I think it had a huge drop in sales. And yeah. I think they're going to have to kill everyone off. Well, not kill everyone off. I think they need to do away with the multiverse concept. And I think that they need to have almost like a clean slate, like nearly, because I don't think that people can keep up anymore. They should never have done so much on the Disney Plus to like required watching. Should never have done that to start with. But even if they didn't do that, if you haven't watched the entire first 3 phases, it's a little bit confusing anyway to drop in at these points. And then they introduced like 4 films sort of around COVID times, which I think people kind of missed a little bit. And by that point, I think the damage was done. And then only things like Spider-Man and Deadpool were making like major bucks. Do you know what I mean?
That's all I'll pay attention to.
Yeah. You'd like Shang-Chi?
Yeah.
I think you'd like Shang-Chi. The action scenes in that are really good.
the ones that I'm looking forward to, I think I definitely want to see Blade.
When that eventually fucking comes out.
If it ever comes out.
That's starting to concern me a little bit.
That's probably it.
I'm looking forward to the Fantastic Four. I think my prediction now with this one is I think that Thunderbolts is going to be shit.
Thunderbolts? What's that?
So that's the next one. Basically, it's kind of like the Marvel Suicide Squad. I think it's going to be shit. I'm a bit sad about it because I really wanted this one to be good and it hasn't. And I think they can't help themselves. So basically, they've released. Last year we just had Deadpool, and that worked out really well for them. And this year we've got Captain America, and then 3 months later we've got Thunderbolts, and 3 months later we've got fucking Fantastic Four.
Right.
It's just too much. It's just too much to keep up with, and I think that they should have spaced it out more. But Thunderbolts, I think, is going to be shit. I'm hoping it isn't, but I think it's going to be shit. And then Fantastic Four, I think, will actually be good, because it doesn't have... It's all new characters, although it's set in the same, like, universe, sort of. It's not, like, leaning on anything.
Yeah.
And it's directed by Matt Shakman, who does WandaVision, which was really good, and then he also did loads of episodes of It's Always Sunny in Philadelphia.
Oh, okay.
So, like, he's quite a talented director,
Yeah,
and I think
yeah.
he's got a good eye for, like, genres and stuff, so... But yeah,
It does look more interesting than anything else
yeah,
that's come from
and I
Marvel
like the cast.
in a while.
I'm not 100% convinced that maybe it's the right casting. I feel like it's a bit like stunt casting almost, but
Right.
We'll see.
Yeah.
I gave it a 4.5 out of 10.
Ooh, stinky. Captain America stinky.
Sort it out, MCU.
Yeah, literally.
They just,
Or
do you
give
know what,
up.
and even if that film had been exactly the way it was, but the action scenes were fucking shit hot, I'd have been like, I can take that.
Even the action.
But the action scenes were fine. There was quite a cool bit where they're like flying around and there's a few jet planes, but it's not filmed with any distinction or like, it just feels like a lesser version of the Winter Soldier. None of it has any impact, and like, it doesn't look. It looks fine, but it doesn't look cool. None of it looks unique. It just looks like every other film.
Yeah.
Basically.
Yeah.
To come out, bar the good ones. So yeah.
Disappointing.
Yeah.
Not for me. I'm not fucking bothered anymore.
No.
I gave up.
Yeah.
Do you know what I'm looking forward to? Is Spider-Verse 3.
When it eventually comes out.
Yeah.
But yeah, I'm looking forward to that. I fucking love that film.
Oh yeah, both of them.
I love both of them. I've actually only seen the second one once, but I've seen the first one like at least 7 times.
Yeah, it's got such rewatch.
The first one is amazing. I do really like the second one. I think the first one's the best.
Yeah.
I think the first one's like a 10 out of 10.
Well, because the second one's relying on the third one as well.
Yeah, because it's almost like part 1, part 2,
it's
isn't it?
Story.
Yeah.
But
with
the
a
stuff
really
with
cool
Gwen
twist.
Stacy's really cool.
Yeah, that one. Yeah, it's a good story.
Yeah.
But
Spider-Gwen.
Spider-Gwen.
I need to play the game. Spider-Man 2.
It's good.
I might buy it.
Do it. You got fucking bank now, mate.
I got bank and a payday on Friday.
Is it?
It is.
Money bags. Yeah, Spider-Man 2 is good. I enjoyed it, to be fair. I had a slight reservation with it that it didn't feel like it moved much from the first game, but the first game's just really enjoyable, so it doesn't really matter.
They did
that
nail
much.
it, to be fair.
That's the hard bit, is if you almost nail a game so well that it's really hard to, like, come back. I just don't... The thing I find with it is I enjoy doing the side missions because they're kind of, like, relaxing, but there's nothing particularly riveting about them. I don't know what it is. Something for me has stopped both games from being like, oh, this is like really high on my list. But I can't really think of the reason why. I think they control well, the stories are good, combat's good. I don't think they're quite as good as the Batman Arkham games.
No, I agree with you.
But yeah.
But it's different as well.
They are obviously massively different, in a way.
Because the superheroes themselves are different.
Yeah.
You've got Peter Parker, Spider-Man, who's a little teenager.
Optimistic.
Full
of spunk.
Let's go get him! And you got Batman, who's like...
I'm gonna fucking eat you for
my
breakfast.
parents are dead, I hate bats. But I won't kill you.
Yeah.
Rachel. I'll just fucking concuss you.
Yeah,
I'll give you brain damage.
Yeah, put you in a wheelchair with brain damage, but I won't fucking kill you.
No, yeah. I'll do worse. You'll suffer.
I'm gonna fucking ruin your life.
Yeah. But he's a good guy. He's a good guy.
He's a good guy.
So it's like the games translate to that.
Yeah, they are fucking good.
Imagine if
games.
Spider-Man was as gritty as Batman are.
I'd fucking love that.
It would
Some
be
of the
cool.
Spider-Man comics in the 90s are pretty fucking messed up.
They are, yeah.
Have you read the one where basically Craven like actually defeats him.
No.
So Craven like actually basically beats him, and then he basically becomes Spider-Man. But there's like a whole sub story of this character who's like the Rat Man, and he's like an actual rat, and he like eats kids. Like it's fucking quite dark. He like gets them in the
Like the
sewer
rat
and then he
catcher.
eats them. Yeah, but like he's an act. Listeners, we made a fatal error and we forgot to plug in the laptop, so it kind of cut out, and then it didn't come back, and it has, we believe, thankfully not lost the episode. But we are going to end it here because I can't even remember what we were talking about.
No.
So apologies if we were mid through anything important. If we were, we will come back to it at a later episode. But we're going to just cut our losses and run, and
Bye
then
for now.
get on to a new episode because we are very scared that we're going to lose this. So thank you for listening. We
That's
appreciate
all,
it,
folks.
and we'll see you next week.
Catch
Stay
you
safe.
next time.
Stay
Bye-bye.
safe.